I would yield to the gentlelady from Texas, SJRes22 Johnson, 3 minutes.
The gentlelady is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and let me thank my ranking member and the chair of this committee for their diligence in running this committee and overseeing some of the most important legislation for our nation. The Clean Water Act is the key federal law used to protect our nation's waters and ensure the millions of Americans have access to clean water. The resolution of disapproval being considered today would block the implementation of important administrative reforms aimed at clarifying key components of this Clean Water Act. These reforms include considerations on how we define tributaries to traditionally navigable waters and sets out clear exclusions to the definition of waters of the United States, among other changes that will help streamline the regulatory process. Countless municipalities, businesses, and industrial stakeholders have expressed concern around the confusing and outdated regulations established under the Bush administration. In fact, more than 1 million public comments submitted to EPA and the U.S. Corps of Engineers have contributed to the formulation of this final rule. The final rule would provide much-needed predictability and clarity for these groups, and that has got my attention. In my home state of Texas, 43% of the residents get their drinking water from sources that rely on small streams protected by the most recent Clean Water Act and rule. The rule also restores protections to more than 12,000 miles of streams that feed into Texas drinking water sources. Further delaying the implementation of this rule will continue to have a dramatic impact on my state of Texas and other states around the country. I see a number of immediate problems with this resolution. For one, SJRes22 would block any future administration from ever clarifying the regulatory confusion related to the Clean Water Act unless Congress authorizes a new rule. In my opinion, that does not bode well for our ability to protect such an essential resource as clean water for Americans. Thankfully, President Obama has already expressed his intention to veto this resolution if it were to reach his desk. Based on a vote on this resolution in the Senate last year, Congress lacks the support to override a veto. This resolution is simply another attempt by this Congress to block this administration from carrying out its regulatory duties to protect Americans. I do not think that there is a single member of this House who would disagree that across the clean water, disagree that access to clean water is absolutely essential for our well-being and health. Did I have 30 seconds?
The gentlelady is recognized for 1 additional minute.
Thank you very much. Here we are, dedicating even more time to consider legislation that would block our ability to protect important waterways and wetlands from pollution. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, this resolution amounts to nothing more than a misguided direction. No one thinks that any American should be subjected to questionable quality of water. And for this reason, I would urge my colleagues